So if you already have a resume together and you are looking to update it and refresh it, I think that now is the best time to do it. We are right in the beginning of the kind of other side of the state that we're in. So now's a good time to take a look at your resume, to start to refresh it and get it ready to start applying for jobs when you are done enjoying your summer. So this presentation is going to be geared towards those that already have a resume. If you do not have a resume, you are more than welcome to reach out to Career Development via email at career.development@alvernia.edu. So when I am going over resumes, I kind of like to give the reminder about some of the misconceptions that we have about resumes. So even if you already have one together, I'd like to just dispel a couple of myths. That way, when you're going to refresh your resume, you know exactly what track you're going on. So the first myth is that there's only one way to do a resume, which is absolutely untrue. There are there's actually tons of ways that you can do your resume. So there's not only one format that you absolutely need to stick to. Second, every single job that you've had does not necessarily need to be on your resume. Remember that you have the ability to tailor your resume to exactly what you're applying for. So if there is something in your job history that may not necessarily reflect what you want your reader to see, don't feel obligated to put it on there. Also, a common misconception is that your resume only needs to be one page. One page is great because it allows the reader to quickly access the information that they need. However, you don't want to be in a position where you're selling yourself short for the sake of only having a one-page resume. And then a lot of people assume that templates make resumes better. And yes, templates can seem to be visually appealing, but templates are very hard to edit if you have additional experience that lies outside of the template format that you want your reader to know about. You don't really have the flexibility to add it on there. Also, if you are sending your resume on a template with a program version that is a little bit updated, a little bit more updated, or a little bit older than the person that's viewing it, there is a chance that your resume could show up looking like scrambled eggs, and you do not want that. And then also it's important to keep in mind that you never want to lie or even exaggerate on your resume. You want to be confident in the experience that you had and the skills that you had. So don't feel the need to embellish, because when the employer that you are looking to bring you on board, when they go to do a background check, they're going to check some of the things that you listed on your resume. So be sure that you're always telling the truth. And then keep in mind, as far as things that you want to put on your resume, make sure that all of your contact information checks out. You want to make sure that your education is also updated. So if you've changed your major, you want that to be reflected on your resume for your new major. If you've added a minor, be sure to add your minor on your resume. And then if your expected graduation date updated, be sure to add that on your resume as well. And if you're adding your GPA, be sure that you're adding your updated GPA. As far as your work, your internship, and your leadership experience, if you've had any new jobs that you'd like to add on your resume, be sure to add them on there. And don't forget that you want the company name and the location, your updated dates of employment. So if there are any jobs that you've left, be sure to update those dates. And then you want to add your job duties, and we'll talk a little bit about job duties in a second. So the left side of the screen is mandatory information that should go on your resume. And then the right side of the screen is all optional items that you can add to your resume as well. So if you've received any new awards that you want to add on your resume, you can go ahead and throw those in there. If you have joined any clubs, or if you've been promoted, or if you've taken on a leadership position in any clubs, be sure to throw those things on your resume as well. And then if you have not already updated your volunteer from the previous year or the previous semester, be sure to add your volunteer and community involvement as well. So Typically, if you already have a resume, your contact information should already be on there, but just as a refresh, you want to make sure that you have your full name. So if you go by any nicknames or any shortened names, for example, if you were born a Jonathan, you don't want to put John on your resume. If you were born Samantha, you don't want to put Sam on your resume. You want to make sure that you're putting your full name on your resume. And it's a great idea to just put your home address. Some people do like to put their home address and their on-campus address if you do live on campus. Home address is typically the best method. You want to make sure that you have your phone number, and then you want to make sure that you have your email address as well. This is a note that you should always be checking your Alvernia email, but if you do not typically check your Alvernia email as consistently as another email, be sure to put that consistent email address on your resume. And in regards to the education section, if you are a sophomore or further, all of your high school activities can be removed from your resume. If you've had jobs, that's a little bit of a different story. If you've had jobs in high school, that's a little bit different. But any kind of clubs that you were in high school can be removed. And your high school, your education piece on your resume in high school can be removed after your sophomore year. But just be sure to update all of your educational pieces on your resume. If you have attended another university prior to coming to Alvernia, you can be sure to list that right underneath your Alvernia experience. So in your education section, just be sure that you have the school name, the location, your degree and your minor, your expected graduation date, and then your updated GPA. And in regards to your work experience, if you're adding on to the work experience, keep in mind, and this is relevant for your education as well, keep in mind that your most recent experience is going to go on the top. So if you've obtained a new job since the last time you put your resume together, you want to make sure that that new job goes right at the top of your professional experience section, and you'll follow the same format in regards to having the name of the company, the city and state, your dates of employment, and then your position title. And then you want to be sure to describe exactly what you did in that role or in that position. And in regards to your bullet points when you are writing out your job duties on your resume, there's a couple things to keep in mind. And now is a good time to go back and take a look at some of the job duties that you've listed on your resume, and just be sure that they are as effective as possible. You want to make sure that you are tailoring your job duties and writing them in a way that your reader can really make a connection between the experience that you are coming to the table with and the experience that you're looking to gain with the new company. So all of your bullets absolutely need to start with an action word, and a strong action word. You want to make sure that you're really digging deep and thinking about what you did. So examples of strong action words are listed right here. Did you organize something? Did you facilitate something? Did you create something? Did you plan? Did you complete things? Did you design things? You want to make sure that those are the words that you're starting off with. And then of course you want to describe exactly what you did. And if there is an opportunity to quantify, do not forget to add numbers. Readers really like numbers. Readers like compelling numbers. So if there are a certain amount of clients that you worked with, a certain amount of money that you brought into the company, you want to make sure that you are adding that. A certain age group of people that you were serving, you want to make sure that you add that into your resume when it's appropriate. And then you also want to include skills when it's appropriate too. So if there are any kind of specialized skills or specialized software that you used on your job, you want to make sure that you throw that into your resume. So seeing it all come together, we're going to take a look at the right side of the screen. So if I'm taking the job duty of filing paperwork, I don't just want to say filed paperwork. I think there's an opportunity to dig a little bit deeper and talk about some of the skills that are being utilized. So maybe we can say something along the lines of utilize organizational skills to store and maintain confidential company documents for over 300 clients. So I'm talking about the skills that I'm using. I'm talking about exactly what I'm doing, the type of documents that I'm working with, and then I'm quantifying and adding how many clients I'm storing documents for. So I'm really incorporating all of the main points. Now, is this going to be relevant for every single job duty to come up with a number and come up with skills? Absolutely not. But when it is appropriate, you do want to make sure that you're taking advantage of all those points. And just to dig a little bit deeper, if you are client facing or if you've had client facing positions, you don't want to say, I worked with clients and staff. It doesn't tell me a lot. Also, I, me, or my statements should be taken out of the resume. So if I am going to make it a little bit better, I can say work with clients and staff to help improve clients' lives. But still, you're working with clients and staff. How? What exactly are you doing? And then I'm making it even better by saying collaborate with interdisciplinary team to deliver quality care to a full caseload of 10 clients per day. And this is good because I am showing that I have the ability to work with other people. I'm also showing that I am caring about the care that I'm providing to my caseload. I'm telling you how many individuals are on my caseload that I deal with each day. So again, I am hitting more and more of those important points to include in the job description. And if you're still stumped, you can ask yourself a series of questions to refresh your old bullet points and to make sure that your new bullet points are effective. So really think about, what is it exactly that you did? You want to hit on, why did you do that thing? So who did you serve? What was the purpose of that job duty? How did you do a certain job duty? Who did you benefit by doing that job duty? And is there an opportunity to quantify anything, whether it be ages, the number of people, amounts of time? So keep all of those things in mind when you are coming up with your bullet points. And then of course, if you are still stumped, please don't forget, or not if you're still stumped, but if you forgot, make sure that you are adding in any kind of awards that you've received, any kind of clubs or professional organizations, and any kind of volunteer experience or community involvement. Those are all great things to add into your resume as well. So that was just a very quick resume refresh. You are absolutely welcome to email your resume over to Career Development to make sure that you're on the right track. And you can again send that to career.development@alvernia.edu. Also, if you would like to learn how to put a resume together, please feel free to reach out to us via email as well. And again, that email address is career.development@alvernia.edu. Thanks.